Hey guys, how you doing? JP here on Droid. Welcome to our first Indie Roundup. I'm going to be showing you a few games from some up-and-coming developers on the Google Play Store, so sit back and enjoy the show. First up, we have Hex Jack by Michel Mohr. Mr. Mohr actually dropped me a line personally to request I review his game, and I liked it a lot, so here it is. Hex Jack is a puzzle game where the goal is to score as high as you can before running out of possible moves, thereby filling up the board. It's stylized with low-resolution graphics and a color scheme that's very nice to look at, and the music and sound by Mere Monkey fits perfectly with the game. To play, you simply swipe a tile along the hexagonal playing field to try to push two like-numbered tiles into each other. If the tile at the edge of the board is a 1, as is the case in every fresh game, then sliding it into the edge will cause it to cycle back to the opposite edge. If, however, the edge is blocked by an anchor or any tile other than a 1, then swiping against it will cause any similarly numbered tiles that are adjacent to each other to combine into the next bigger number. 2 1s become a 2, and 2 2s become a number that Valve doesn't know how to count to, and so on. In this way, it's kind of like 2048, just hexagon-shaped and with a cycle mechanic. After 2 tiles combine, the resulting empty space is filled by a tile in your hand, which is that row of tiles that you see at the bottom of the screen. You also get a new tile, which will always be the number that you had just combined. Everything cycles this way until you have no more possible moves, then your score is tallied. The game has achievements, with rather high experience values, and leaderboards for those interested in that kind of stuff. Hexjack is free to download with no ads, and 1 IAP to unlock all additional game modes at the cost of €1. Next up is SlideBrick by Alexey Yakovlev, who's explained that he hasn't yet found the right music for his game, so I'm going to go ahead and edit the Guile theme in here. This one's a lot simpler to explain. You slide the brick. Don't get caught under any blue lines and don't touch any red lines, and you'll get a point for each line that you pass, and you get an extra 3 points every time you cause the brick to make a full rotation. The game has the same kind of frantic simplicity offered by other indie darlings such as Super Hexagon and Flappy Bird, and like those games, SlideBrick is really freaking hard. There are leaderboards but no achievements yet, and the game is free but supported by ads. There's a banner ad up top and the occasional full-screen ad in between rounds of gameplay. Lastly, we've got Survival Horror by Joe Aaron Sellers. It's a zombie-themed interactive fiction that plays kind of like those old R.L. Stine Goosebumps books, where the story gives you choices to make by turning to specific pages. In Survival Horror, you play as an amnesiac who wakes up to find herself locked in a utility closet. You tap on keywords in the presented text to interact with the story and do things like open doors, examine objects, pick up loot, and talk to other characters. Occasionally, you'll get in fights with zombies, and unless the game gives you the option to simply run away, you fight by simply choosing whether to attack it boldly or carefully. One lets you do and take more damage, and the other lets you die like a chicken. It's pretty long and I haven't finished it yet, but the background story is quite interesting, and I'm looking forward to learning more about the world in the game. The full app costs $1.99 on Google Play, but there are no ads and no IAPs. There are also no leaderboards or achievements. If you're gonna play the game, try not to read too far down the app description page because Mr. Sellers listed some player testimonials in there that are a little bit spoilery. And that does it for the first Droid Indie Roundup. Hope you enjoyed the show. If you have any comments or suggestions on what indie games we should be rounding up next, feel free to let us know here in the channel or in the forums. Once again, this was JP. Thanks and have fun.